Welcome back to the YouTube learning channel. I'm now doing an AHU logic, so I thought I'll record this for you. So I've put the scheduler and the safety in there at the moment, and now I need to put the points in there for the AHU. So I'm doing AHU 4. So we've got these points here, so let's just copy them and let's paste them into there at the moment. So they're inputs. We've got a AHU4 heating valve. I'll come back to that, just checking if there's any more inputs. And this is a supply and extract. Again, outputs. AHU4 input there for a fault. And that is it. So copy that. Paste that into there. We don't need the DIO4. I'll take them out there as well for that one. We don't need that. And we don't need that. We also don't need the alarms and the history because that's in our main points. And then our outputs for DHO4 is that one and that one. And a heating valve there. So we can take that one across. AHU4 heating valve. In fact, we don't need to put AHU4 in any of these because I'll probably copy and paste it later. The same with this one as well. So supply temperature, rename, and extract temperature, and AHU fault. The input. Right, let's go down into the folder and let's take out these, history and the alarms. We'll take out these, history and alarms. Same with this, because it's recorded in the IO, so we don't need it here. And then we need to add in, there was another IO for the AHU4. This. So let's just make a new Boolean writable. Supply fan enable. Change the facets. Enable, disable, mark that as false, disable, put that up there, take out the in16 because I don't need to use it, and duplicate that to extract fan enable. So those are the only points that we've got. I'd have expected to see an input for flow for all these. And do we only have one AHU fault? We don't have one for the supply, one for the extract. Yeah, we do. There. So, duplicate, rename, sorry. Supply. fault, duplicate again, extract, fault. Now I would, like I say, expect to see flow switches, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, well, I can just duplicate one, AHU supply flow, change that text to no flow and flow, and then duplicate that to extract flow. So we've got the heating valve, so there's no cooling on this, there's just heating. Supply fan enable, extract fan enable. Normally I would put the extract fan on first, then I'd put the supply, and once I've proved that all fans are running, I would then use the heating valve. And we've got no bypass, but I would normally control on the extract, because the extract is the temperature that's actually going to be in the room coming back, and if it's too cold then we want to then put on the heating. So let's go and add some logic into, well, before we add logic, let's put these to the outside, so let's composite them. And I'm just checking, I want to put these in order first, so reorder, I want all my inputs first. So these are my inputs, that is an input, and extract fan fault is an input, and these two here are inputs, and then the heating valve, supply and extract. So I've put them in order here, so now I can right click that, composite, scheduler, in 10, safety, in 10, supply temperature, in 10, extract, in 10, in 10. So they're my faults, and these are my flows. And then my heating valve output, supply fan enable output, and extract fan enable output. So now we've got all these points on there to the outside of the folder. We've got to name all the points. So this is our folder here with all these ins and these outs. Views, AX slot sheet. And because I've got this here at the side in the order, I know what each one's with. Scheduler, each point is named. That's going to come up the issue, don't worry about it. Safety, that's going to come up with the same issue. Supply temperature, that won't come up with the same issue because I'm not using an underscore. Extract, and then supply fault, put a capital F in there. Extract fault, supply flow, extract flow, heating valve, supply fan enable, control key C, paste and rename to extract. So that's all the points done. So what we'll do now is we'll join up all the dots. So AHU4 occupied, scheduler, safety. Now I don't think there's any gas. We have got a heating valve. Do we want the AHU to run if we've got a gas issue? I would say yes, because we can still circulate air. So I'll use that safety. And then I'm going to link mark, supply temperature, link to, out, supply, extract temperature, link to the block, extract temperature, supply fault, link to, out, supply fault, extract fault, link to, out and extract fault, supply flow, link to, out, supply flow, I've just done that completely wrong. Right, let's take out them completely, delete, and try again. Link mark, but not on itself, on the AO. What an idiot. AHU4 fault, supply fault. Can link to, out, extract fault. And then we had for AHU4, that's an enable, so link from supply fan enable into there, link from extract fan enable into there, heating valve link from our heating valve into there, and mail change supply, extract temp, link to, maybe I should have changed that to at least a supply. I'll leave it as it is. Put a temperature there, out, supply temperature, link to, out, extract temperature. We're not going to have supply flow and extract purely because the points aren't there for it yet. And that's AHU4 done apart from the logic. So what I'm going to do is when we put the supply fan on, I'm just going to put that into there. And then when we put the extract fan on, I'm going to put that into there for now. Go back into here. Now we can start with the logic. So the first thing we want to do is we need a set point in there. So I have a set point in my other, no point in reinventing the wheel in my HWS logic. So I just copy that, go back one, paste that into there, and it's extract set point. Now we're never going to go that high. I would say 30, 16. I know we're not doing any cooling, but I'll leave it at that. Action set, and I would say it's a changing area, 25 degrees that we'd want it to be. So we're going to use the extract. So first of all, from our kit control palette, we need to get the loop point, and we know we're just heating only. We know that for a fact because we've only got one heating valve. I'm going to put my prop in as 2, my integral in as 1, and I'm going to reverse that for heating, and I'm going to save that. I'm now going to right click and do the pin slots, loop enable, control variable set point, my prop, my int, and that's all I need. So my set point, we know what that is, that's there. My control variable is going to be the extract, which is there. My enable for the heating is going to be the scheduler and the safety. So that's my enable done for that, and that is going out to the heating valve. And I'm just going to take them, just move them out of the way, take that and move that up, and let's put that into percent as well. I've got a percent there, I have. So when we're enabled, and because we've got minus 3276 in temperature, it wants heating as expected. So that's the heating done. The heating valve will open. But we've still got no fans running yet. And we want to run the extract fan first. So as we've got this here, I can go from here, or I can actually go from here. And I'm going to go there to run the extract fan. Now we have an extract fan fault here. And then we've got the extract fan flow here. So there's no point in enabling up that if we've actually got a fault here. So because I know that's going to be a false, I know it says healthy, but we'll put a NOT gate in there. Reverse extract. So I'm just checking, we've got a supply fan fault as well. Let me just duplicate that. Sup extract. Put that into there. So we've got our true there now, and we want to put an AND gate in from our kit control. Extract go. Put our enable in there. Views AX slot sheet. Enable and healthy. And we'll type enable as well. That's our extract. So we're healthy, we're enabled. Let's run our extracts. Now our supply is going to be slightly different. We'll still use this. There's no arm. Supply. Go. But we're going to put another point in there, another pin, which is going to be extract flow. Fuse AX log sheet. EXT flow. So we still have our enable. We still have our healthy. But this time we're going to go with the flow as well. So that's that one up there. And that one there. And we're proving flow on the extract, so we can then now switch on the supply. And then we've got supply flow coming in there. So we could do some mismatch alarms. That temperature we're not really using, but we can do some mismatch alarms. So we'll use this XOR gate here. I'll call it mismatch. And we want the enable in there and the flow. So we'll start with the extract. So there's the extract flow. And that's my extract enable. So they're both true, so that's now a false. So we're not going to get an alarm. If one of them went false, actions, emergency, inactive, like so, we've got a true coming out there now. Now we need to, for the alarm, we need to give it a little bit of time before the alarm actually triggers. So we'll use a wait 2 mins. We'll put that in there. And this is the extract, isn't it? Because we're going to be doing the same for the supply. So I'm just going to put extract there, put extract there, and then I'll just take that, duplicate, mismatch, extract, alarm. And when it's false, it's healthy. And mismatch, error. And we've got to put an alarm on that. So take it from our out, put it into there. We don't need our out not, so I'll take that out. And then we need to put an alarm onto that. So mismatch there. Go to our alarm palette. Extensions. Boolean change of state alarm. Put it into there. And edit it. Fault. Mismatch alarm, check, flow switch, and enable, healthy. So when we do get a mismatch alarm after 2 minutes, let's show the time in there on delay. Leave it at 1 second at the moment just to show you it working. And we'll take the flow off. And then you should mismatch alarm there. But that is actually going to be 2 minutes. We'll wait 2 minutes. So I'll show it you again. So that's now cleared itself. Emergency inactive. And now it would time for 2 minutes and then put the alarm on. And we're not waiting for that. So that's your mismatch alarm. Let's duplicate that. And when I rename EXT to sec, to supply, sorry, not sec. Rename, take out the 1 at the end of them all. Rename, just want that on its own. Rename supply. Mismatch supply alarm. And then we take the supply and put it into there, and we take our flow and put it into there. And that's all the points, but we're going to composite these two to the outside of the folder. So composite, and we'll take that one out, and we'll take that one out. One's extract, one's supply. Views, AX slot sheet, extract status, supply status. And that is it for that AHU. This here is it. And you can easily see when there's alarms from this front page. And then I'm going to duplicate that for AHU 5 and AHU 6, which will have the same points. Alright, thank you for watching.